backup character, Mike?
Arise, minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. Pretend you didn't hear Daryl asking me for a backup character. We're here for another episode of Thrall, where we all die this episode, and we figure out what to do with 3 more weeks. That being said, if you like what we do here and you want to support the channel, the best way to do that is here on Twitch. We're trying to hit 20 subs this month. Also on our Patreon if you want some kind of exclusive behind-the-scenes action, just like our after show. And last but not least, in the bottom right-hand corner, you will see a bar called the Corruption Bar. That bar serves 2 purposes. 1 is when that bar fills, Daryl gets to do whatever the hell he wants to us, and 2... we get to see Cora point the wrong direction. There it goes. And 2, every single dollar that goes into that bar goes back to these wonderful, beautiful, amazing players that you see here before you. That being said, I will turn things over to Daryl to bring us back into hell. Thrall. Back into Thrall.
Thrall. It's definitely Thrall. So thanks, guys. Thanks for everything. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad that we took last week to, acknowledge the strife and terribleness in the world. But to hopefully support, the beginning of encouraging change. I'm not going to go into that any more than that, but thank you. But yeah, tonight we are back in Thrall, and it starts like this. All is white. You imagine this is what pain looks like when it's so great all of your senses go numb. Except this sensation isn't pain. It's void, it's absence, it's longing, it's nothing. Time is a hostage to the white. You have no idea for how long. Your mind is racing. Your thoughts give you the sensation that time is passing, but perhaps that's just what your mind does toward the end. Perhaps your mind is flooded with thoughts as a last effort to claim its own existence. Moments in your past come clearly to you, more clear than you think memory should be. Parents, siblings, friends, neighbors, moments when their words and actions helped to mold you and matured you into who you are now. Who are you now? Are you a composite of these people you grew up with? No, there's more. Your memory shifts. Your hands and your feet, you choose what to do and where they go. You choose who you are. Perhaps it's both. But what about the voice inside you that speaks without words? The one that warns you when danger is near. The one that filled you with guilt when you were a child and you lied. The one that told you what love was. The one that always seems to know, like really know. Does it know right from wrong? You think it does. You hope it does. Often you listen, but not always. Is the voice who you are? The white veil begins to thin. The shapes around you are familiar as they come into focus. Rook and Gull are here. Luca lies motionless between them. You have a vague sense that Sama is near. You're each near death. Next you see the Mind Wolf, the Achiad, one of the old ones he called himself. He stands with his legs splayed and his muscles rippling with tension. His head is down, teeth showing in a silent growl. On the dark fur around his muzzle, you think you see blood. The white continues to thin, but now it streams around you and past you. It flows like water, always against the direction that you try to move. It buffets against you. You strain to step forward, each action held by time that seems to be slowly melting. Shapes of buildings, a fallen statue, and other figures begin to show through the white. This is Laclede, you remember. Sulkery, the shadow throw, is also frozen in the white. She is suspended at the apex of leaping over Rook, her now familiar shadow blade extended, poised to impale the Scorath between his wings upon her descent. You see other shapes, the mercs that are some fallen and some prepared to continue the battle. You see Henry, whose head is still exposed from the shadow that burst through the back of it. And in your mind, you hear, I have come to see that you escape. but the elders have deemed it necessary to determine if you are worthy. Each of you must share your secret. And I turn it over to you.
What does that mean? Are we like... What?
Imagine yourself trying to swim upstream, but the water is so forceful against you that you can't actually move. And if you turn around to try to go with it, it literally just focuses and pushes you back from the other side. It's these white things. It's like time is frozen and it's turned into wind.
What the fuck?
And
Luca, you are just barely awake.
We gotta tell it a secret?
Hmm?
Sorry.
It wants our secrets? I don't understand.
You feel a sense that the time that was before your senses began to clear, when the moment was all white, that you weren't simply having the near-death experience of remembering everything about you, but you were being probed. Someone was looking for the truth inside you.
Do we know what it is?
It's Fagin.
Oh.
You feel fairly confident.
I don't like that guy still.
Yeah, no, he's not a fan.
The elders have determined that you must prove your worth. My gut, my instinct tells me that you are worth saving, but I need proof.
I don't have a secret.
Are you saying this? Are you thinking it as
No,
a player?
I'm just thinking it as a player. I don't. No. I was not prepared for secret tellings, and I don't have one. Yeah, I still don't think Rook likes this dude. Like, he is pretty sure that Fagin can fuck off. I think in whatever way, either if he thinks it or says it out loud, I don't know what his capabilities are. He just kind of bellows out, like, free me. Like, get me out of whatever this shit is.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I gotta think
is that the first thing to occur of the four of you?
I would assume so.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
Rook doesn't usually think before he talks. So.
In your mind, and all four of you hear this, if I free you, you are at the mercy of these around you. If you divulge your secret, I will make sure you escape.
I don't.
You're gonna have to be a bit more specific about which secret we're supposed to share, because I've got a lot.
Is your heart pure? Are your intentions for the betterment of the world, of mankind, or sentient kind? I meant to. Sorry, I just remembered. I meant to use the freedom is the right of all sentient beings. Optimus Prime. Sorry.
Yep.
I'm here for Rook.
That's gnome creature.
Oh.
Why do you fight?
I don't. Rook fights. Rook fights for me. Rook fights for the world. I'm just here.
Rook fights for himself.
Well, yeah, but it also kind of benefits the world. I try to help steer him in the right direction. That's less of a secret and more of kind of like a not so well known fact, I guess. He's very dangerous. I just try to point him in the right direction so he's dangerous for the right reasons.
The elders find no fault with you, Gol Atmir.
Thank you.
Luca, the elf, the grotto elf, you come from far away. Yet you are here. Why do you fight?
I used to think that it was because I wanted to help people and protect them, and that is a very big part of it, but it's also because I know that there's not many like me, and people in the world don't know what to think when they see people like me, and I want to try, and it's selfish, but I want to try and prove that they can trust people like me.
Your goal is admirable. But why do you fight the Thralls?
Not her goal. My own goal.
I fight the Thralls because I was raised with the understanding that you help those that cannot help themselves. And the Thralls have taken advantage for far too long of those that don't have the means to help themselves all the time. And if I can aid in any way to that cause, then I will fight until I cannot any longer.
Luca, Drazelli, your words are found truth by the elders. Elf, Sama, why do you fight?
I think if you took a deep dive through my memories, you would have figured it out by now.
Memory and truth are not the same.
I don't really have a big goal. It's not the betterment of all whatever. I've got two very specific people I have in mind. One of them I'd like to see grow up in a world where they don't have to worry about shit like thralls. That's what my gun is for.
Samael, your words are found to be truthful. However, you still have a secret to share.
Like I said, you'll have to be more specific. I gave you a secret. That's what you asked for.
Your connection to Nadir must be severed.
Great.
Excellent. You feel a sensation of pain in your mind as if a blade is actually cutting away something from it. But then you realize that this pain is not a sensation of physical pain, but more mental. This goes on for just a moment, though it feels like a very long time. As you're wondering what else is going on around, and you still feel trapped in this this area that cannot be, where you can't really travel, but you can sort of move. You know, your eyes can move, your head can slowly turn. Or you just imagine the time has slowed down. Scoreth, why do you fight?
Because is what I was made to do.
This is true. Why is fighting what you like? Why do you do it? For you. Not your physical construction, but your mind.
Why does a dog chase its tail? No one asks these questions, it just does, and it is accepted. I just kill because it is what I was made for, and it is what I do, and it is what I like. So I keep on doing it, with no question about it.
Would you kill me without any reason?
Are you a blood thrall?
No.
Then I have no reason to kill you.
This contradicts your answer.
Blood thralls need to be killed. I am the one that kills them.
Will you kill yourself?
If it should come to that and I am the last one.
Your words are accepted by the elders. You can all move. You still see the white around you. You see that the world seems to be frozen, but for some reason you four are no longer. Luca, you can get up. You have 1 hit point.
Yeah.
Do I still
The
have
scene-
only one arm?
Yes.
Damn it.
But you can pick up your one arm with your other one arm.
You can do that.
And then
I'm gonna beat a motherfucker with my own arm.
And then you'll have 2 arms.
Just like the Saving Private Ryan, the guy just kind of walking on the beach, picking up his arm.
Yeah. It's like if you chip a tooth, if you put it in milk, they can reattach it. If you take the arm and you put it in milk, they can...
That's how that
Are you
works.
done?
I can't.
I'm just giving you some science.
Science, milk science.
Yeah.
I think that's biology.
It's milk science.
That was actually Goals Minor.
Milk science.
Explosives and milk science.
Oh jeez.
Right. Well, you guys are in a world of milk at the moment, so.
So the perfect time for milk science.
List of things I did
Right.
not expect. Time
What is
traveling
milk
alien milk.
silence?
So I guess Destiny 2 just showed up in my Thrall game for no
Right.
reason whatsoever.
So we can move around in this like whited out Laclede.
Yeah.
Is anything else moving around?
No.
Even what's his name, Fagin?
Yeah, Fagin is growling towards Sulkery. And if somebody gives me like some sort of interest, whether that's an investigation or perception or insight or any kind of I want to participate with dice kind of thing.
I will participate with dice. I have dice. I'll roll a perception check, sure. Because someone's probably going to come out from behind if the thing in front of him isn't like moving either.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he's just going to walk past it and into the square.
Yeah, go for it.
Dice participation roll.
Yay! Where is my screen at? Come on, dude.
Quick
There we
question.
go. 14.
and this is gonna
That's good enough.
pick
Go ahead.
things out
Fun.
for just a
Nice.
sec. Am I still actively like bleeding or like?
I'm stop bleeding.
Yeah. So yes, you're bleeding. You assume that there must have been enough time that passed that it's coagulated a bit, and whatever healing occurred that got you up is enough to probably guarantee you're not going to just die in another couple turns, but it needs to be looked after.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use this time instead of doing any dice roll work to be fashioning myself kind of like a what's that sling? That's the one.
A strappy bandagey thing. Yeah, so Sama,
Something.
you notice that it appears that in addition to whatever Fagin was using to communicate, that there is an additional mental war going on between he and Sulkery. you can just kind of like see it in their eyes, like there's movement in their eyes that indicates that they're into each other, like there's something happening.
You know,
Oh, I didn't need to know that they were into each other, but good to know.
Yeah, that's not the way I meant it. Like engaged.
Sorry.
Engaged.
Continue. Engaged. All right. Okay. All right. Does it feel like if like we do something that this will stop, or is there any indication as to what is going to happen the minute we make a move?
No. There is. So let's come back to that. So you've done a thing, and now Luke has done a thing. Rook and Goal. If you want to do a thing, go ahead. Otherwise, I will answer that question.
Seems fair.
Yeah. I mean, Rook immediately stabs Silkery.
Are you gonna like do that like right the second?
Yeah, I mean, are we 100%?
Because Sama's like, whoa! If you're gonna stab her, let's all just shoot, stab, punch, cannon, whatever, her together at the same time for maximum damage.
I feel like this would be happening like as Sama like walks into the scene.
Okay.
Like
Okay,
the
then
moment,
go-
like yeah,
that's
like
fair.
the
Then go do
moment,
stab.
yeah, the moment Rook has mobile capacity and can see her standing there, his instinct is what it was before we whited out like Pokemon, and he's gonna continue to stab at her, right?
Okay.
I mean, that
So-
just feels like the Rook thing to do. This is not a
Okay.
thing.
So before then that
combat
happens,
moment.
I need to hear from Kendall. What is Goal going,
time
or
stop.
at least a thought. Like when you wake up, what's your very first thought? Like Rook's first thought is, I'm gonna smack somebody.
To run to Rook, because I know
Okay.
he's got a dangling horn off his head.
He's got a penguin horn.
Dangling.
Dangling.
Sorry,
Oh, dangling.
my accent came out. He got
Penguin.
a dangling horn there on his head.
He
No,
didn't horn.
Yeah, Boom Howard.
He's a unicorn penguin.
Did not see that on the
Unicorn
TV.
penguin dragon, my favorite kind of fantasy.
You know?
race.
No, he's gonna turn to run to Rook, but if in all the same instance he sees Rook stabbing Silkery, he's gonna like kind of stop because he wants to see what's gonna happen. You're
Okay.
not sure if this is gonna unfreeze that person.
All right. So, we're gonna have to retcon the order that this stuff happens in just a tiny bit because Sama's actions were a little more casual. Rook's actions are more urgent. So I need I really don't know D&D words now. The thing where you try to go first, roll.
Initiative.
Thank you.
You had it. You had
That's
it.
a mood. Don't worry about it. That's a mood for sure. Are
13.
we all rolling initiative? Or...
Nope. Just people who are trying to take aggressive actions.
Gotcha.
Me,
Okay.
13.
Which would not
There
be
you
me.
go. You beat me.
Get right.
That's your fault. So so you don't need to roll a hit unless you want to roll for a crit. Or what is it? You automatically get advantage, or you automatically hit?
I don't know
what's the
what
thing for someone who is immobile.
So there's like 7 different flavors of a mobile.
Yeah. So if they're restrained, or if they're incapacitated, or if they're stunned,
Paralyzed or stunned.
Yeah.
there's a bunch of-
Paralyzed.
Okay.
Paralyzed would be.
I
the-
think it's on a hit, it's a crit.
I'm looking. Hold on.
So you get
paralyzed. Any an attack that hits the creature is a crit. Attack rolls against the creature also have advantage.
All right. So you roll with advantage. If you hit, you crit. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Yep. So I'm gonna give you 24 or a 20. I assume those hit.
Holy crap-tastic. Yeah. So
Damn.
roll that stuff, Dan.
Cool.
Roll
I'm
that
gonna
damage.
Go ahead and do. So there's that plus an additional 1d something, an additional 1d10. So /R 1d10, right? Because that's how we're doing. How are we doing crits? Is it? It's
2. You double your dice.
right. Yeah. So
Yeah, whatever your dice are.
17 slashing damage into her face.
All right. So you come out with your scythe. As you kind of push through this white, and all of a sudden your muscles wake up and you charge forward, and you're kind of incensed with trying to wrestle mentally with this weird situation that's going on, and it just turns into pure reaction. You attack,
Yes.
You slash at her, you hit her for 17 damage, you knock her out of the sky, and she lands and rolls and stands up and is completely free of the paralyzation. She does take a significant amount of damage.
Good.
Oh,
She is no longer paralyzed, though. Then the person who was rolling the initiative against you is Fagin. He says, do not interact with the world, or they will be freed from my power.
Well, Fagin, you know, you could have said that.
This
when
is
we were
your
in
opportunity.
Mind
This is your opportunity to escape.
Or was.
Right.
Okay.
So now, if you want to do something, Sama, you can roll initiative. And we'll just add it to whatever.
Did I hear all of that?
Yeah. That was to everybody. So like he was going to say that, but you guys like woke up and he just sprung into action before.
Okay. I
Yeah,
mean,
you
I'm
know
gonna
what I mean.
roll initiative. I think at this point we're not gonna run from just Sulkery either way. I think is where Sama's at. So I guess it's time for aggressive murder that one person a lot potentially. We'll see. 12 on the initiative. So.
Alrighty. And Luca is bandaging her arm. Gold, do you want to roll initiative?
Did you say no?
Yeah.
Nope.
I'd rather not, thanks.
That's gonna be a hard pass for me, dog.
Yeah. No.
So, question: Is it obvious to us at this point that Sulkery is going to interact with all of us, or is it just with Rook at the moment?
Well, I mean, her eyes are focused on Rook. I
Okay.
mean, I don't know that I can even indicate if there's a way that you would know.
That's fair.
You know,
I don't know if they had mentioned don't do that. If it's just like
like they're going to be trapped in their own little time bubble or something.
Yeah.
Nothing indicates such, but
okay, cool.
But she's focused on him.
Yeah.
All right, so at the top of the next turn, then we'll have Sulkery first with initiative of 24. Then let's see what you had. You had a 12, and unMade had Rook had a 13. So there you go. So Sulkery's going to leap at you, Rook. She's going to pull her arm back with her shadow blade and try to cut your head off, like kind of a punching, sweeping thing.
Yep.
And with her other hand, her other shadow hand, she's going to try to restrain you. So, does anybody have the grappling rules handy? Why can't I speak?
The grappling rules is an action, and it's an opposed strength versus either my strength or my dex.
All right, so let's do that then.
So you roll an athletics check, and I roll athletics or acrobatics.
All right. Oh, good. Look at that.
I mean, unless I roll a 1, I win.
Well, now he said tempting.
Yeah,
fittingly.
I have a +5 to athletics, so.
All right. So somehow her shadow hand just can't seem to get a hold of you. It kind of passes around you. You feel the cold of this shadow over your body. And other than the willies, it has no effect. Her blade still comes in. That's her second attack.
That hits.
All right, 17.
It does 20 damage, and I die.
Yep.
One day, I'll teach Daryl how to make NPCs in Roll20. I die.
All right. Yeah, so that just hits you like right across the shoulder. It cuts deep into your chest shoulder area, nearly beheading you. I'm not going to roll on the scary chart because I'm not ready to do that. So you go down.
Mm-hmm.
And you're next. So then we'll skip to Sama.
Mm-hmm.
Could we
have
maybe
to roll
not
a deathy
do
thing?
Could we do the whole where we don't fight them and we leave? Remember when we wanted to leave the town?
It's my turn, right? So I go
you gotta
next.
roll death.
Yeah, roll your death save.
Yeah.
Oh no!
There's one.
Yeah. Solkari is like standing over your body. Her one of her feet is like on your torso, like kind of in your belly area, because you're too wide for her literally to straddle you. So she's just got like one foot on you, and she's practically drooling with the excitement of having knocked you down after the intensity. And who knows what kind of conversation she had with Fagin. And she's also just dripping blood. Like her blood is pooling on top of you right now.
Yeah.
Your turn, Simon.
Shit, fuck. So, does she look like she's still doing fine, or does she look like? Okay, cool.
No, she would rather not be here if it was just a matter of healthy concerns.
Okay.
How many arrows, Boromir, is she looking?
How many arrows? Yeah.
How many arrows, Boromir?
I was gonna say like Grant does, if you guys know Grant Ellis. Oh, she's about 67, 88. Feeling well.
Okay.
That was a great Grant impression, by the way. I love it.
Pretty spot on.
Yeah, actually, it worked pretty well. Okay. Fuck it. Fuck it. Gun.
All right.
Cast that gun.
Left-handed. What does that duty? Does it give you disadvantage?
No. Nope.
Offhand, I think you just don't get your.
That only applies if you're doing a 2-weapon fighting, and I'm going to assume someone is in some point ambidextrous with a single-handed weapon, because he's not using the rifle.
I'm not going to fight it.
Yeah, there's no rules for D&D for offhand on hand unless you're doing 2 weapons at the same time.
Okay.
Because that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was a rule.
There are many things about D&D that don't make sense, and I could go on for several hours.
Right.
Okay.
Damn you, milk scene! Don't distract me. 16, that hits.
16. Okay. She's not paying attention to me, right?
Right. That's why that hits.
That's reasonable.
I'm not giving her dexterity bonus because she's in
that's
rage, in like total berserker style rage.
18 damage.
Yeah, 18 damage.
18 damage. I'm going to not be there anymore.
Yeah. So, you shoot. She's kind of hunched over. You're coming from. She jumped this way. Has landed on Rook, so she's facing. Kind of towards the. Oar's tusk. And she's the way she's leaning over. You actually hit her like right in the top of the shoulder, and you hit her, and she spins around, and you even see her eyes like focus on yours for just a second, like she's going to hold on. Like you for a second think you are next, like for 100% you are next, and then she just sort of staggers and then falls back on the ground. It's time you left, says Fagin. Do not take this opportunity for granted.
Not going to do that. And so some, I think, is going to walk over, like, assuming everyone else is still frozen time. Like, Solkari fell, she out?
Yeah, she appears to be.
Okay. I'm going to walk to, like, here. I'm assuming she kind of, like, almost landed a little bit on top of Rook at this point, because, like...
Yeah, you kind of imagine her legs are over his, and then her back is, like, on the ground, and she's just, like, pooling in her own blood, and his, of course. Mostly his.
Yep. Someone, like, kicks her legs off of Rook's, and then looks at Luca and go, like, so... Cart? Because I can't carry him. He's real big.
Luca just kind of looks at her arm that is in a sling.
Yep. All right. I'll be back. And someone walks over to like go get his gun, and then like the gun that he dropped, looks at his arm, meh, leaves it there, continues on. And if looks at Fagin, racks another bullet into his pistol. Like, are you going to stop me from doing this? I'm going to make sure this is over.
So when you do that with your gun, where's the gun at? Is it, you're not like pulling it up toward him, right? You're pulling it toward Sulcry?
I'm like pointing it towards Sulcry's head, like standing there looking at him.
Yeah, no, he's not stopping you.
Cool. I empty the whole clip.
All right. How many is that?
That is 6.
I just wanted you to count, for tracking purposes.
That's right.
Yeah.
No,
so
no, absolutely.
You it starts like pounding into her head until like by the 3rd or 4th bullet you start not being able to recognize it, and then by the 6th it's like skull fragments and puddles of brain and other things all over the dirt right there. You're pretty confident it was successful.
Like, deep breath, eject mag, reload, holster, click safety. All right.
You can take all the time you need as long as you don't interact with this, but I am growing weak. You have to hurry.
Did we get a potion at any point? Like one at all?
What?
I don't remember. I don't think we did.
We have literally not gotten any type of potion.
No healing.
Anything like that.
Okay.
No healing. Nothing. Not a fuck.
Shit. Fuck. Okay.
I very early on declared that my healing was for Rook only.
That's actually super convenient. Can you shove one in his throat?
That's true. You did.
I would really like that, actually. That would make it so I don't have to carry him out of here.
I sure do can.
Yeah, just rub some dirt on it.
So I think the goal is get Rook to walking speed, get the fuck out of Laclede.
The goal is definitely going to get Rook up.
Yeah.
So that's what he does. He
Didn't even think about that. That's great.
He goes over and pulls one of his syringes out of his bag and says, please, and sticks him in the neck with it.
All right. As you're doing that, not because I want to do this, but I have no choice. It's not up to me. You see Brodeur. He kind of stumbles into the scene. He actually kind of stumbles like literally like from behind you, like from right here. So I'm gonna change his color just to represent Brodeur. He's purple now.
Okay.
Purple and yellow. He like stumbles out and he looks destroyed. Like you only recognize him because like kind of the robes and stuff, like you just see elements of him that you just remember from what you'd seen before. But if you were to try to describe the type of physical injuries that this guy has taken, it would be something like a giant wolf picked him up from the midsection and then shook him violently side to side.
Almost kind of like that, yeah.
Yeah, it would look a lot like that. And so he's shredded, and this shambling walking motion you see is only reminiscent of things that don't exist in this world, like television shows of The Walking Dead. And he's clearly not alive. Like you can tell his legs aren't walking in a way that like they're not functioning effectively enough to create this type of movement. But you all see as he gets in sort of the center of this square area of the city, his body sort of fade and a blue dragon fade in over top of him. This blue dragon is as large as the boar's tusk. He fills pretty much all the space in between Sama and this guy, or I'll ping like right here. Well, I can't ping because of the stupid characters. Okay, like right here. So he's like filling that whole space up. He still has sort of an ethereal look to him, like you can almost see through him. He's like looking into a mirror, except there's no mirror there. His scales are blue. They're tarnished with age. His face has a bandage around the eyes, as if he cannot see. He appears to have no eyes, just like Brodeur. And then in your head you hear Fagin. It's too late. You have to go. I must face him. Now, what were you saying, Gull?
Like as I was sticking Rook with my 5 touch healing thing.
Okay. Give him some points.
Yeah, I get it. I got the roll of 5. I got that.
Oh, you did it already? Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Time to go.
Boop. I'm back.
All right.
And Rook attacks the ethereal dragon.
Rook jumps to the dragon. Facts.
Take the boy.
We can't keep doing this.
Take the boy to Bishonia. If he dies, we all die now.
Oh, where did you put the boy? Because the boy was with the old man.
He's back there.
Fucking shit.
You get a mental picture. Ping. He's back in the forest.
Great. Fuck. Okay. Can everyone walk? We didn't lose legs. Are we good? Like, right? Yes.
I mean,
cool.
I'm super tired. If someone could give me a piggyback, I'd appreciate it.
Look, give him a piggyback. And then someone moves.
The white
Where are
like
we going?
fades, like it like as if when sun hits fog, it just like sort of retracts back into nooks and crannies. All of the unmade, even the ones that you guys believed were dead, like rise up. All of Maggot wakes up, and as you guys are leaving, you get a sense that they're not even moving with the same kind of posture that they were when you fought them earlier. Like they look a little bit more like puppets, and they're all attacking Fagin now.
Yep. Goodbye, Wolf. Goodbye.
Yeah.
So you guys are heading out?
Yeah. Rook
Okay.
Rook looks at everyone and says, "Did everyone get their respective limbs?"
Bull's gonna wave your horn, as
Thank
he's
you.
riding your back like
Thank you very much, Gold.
Yoda in Star Wars.
I appreciate your assistance.
So I'm just like, no, should I have?
I don't think they can reattach it without the actual limb being present for your body.
Eh.
All
I'll figure
right.
it out.
Make you a new one. Come on, let's go.
Back that way a dragon lies, and then someone just keeps going back towards the forest.
Yeah, so I'm going to assume you guys do make a hasty move
Yeah.
out as opposed to this sort of we're going to talk and be funny thing. I mean,
I assume this is happening while we're moving.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah. No,
This
we're
is
not.
a walk and talk TV show. Thank you.
So we're like we're like the West Wing in this.
Yes.
Right. So, but yeah, you hear everything behind you as if the world had gone back to normal. You hear, even the sounds of regular things, birds and bugs and whatnot.
Bugs and screaming and dragons.
And now you hear the growling of this wolf, and you hear this hollow voice that you can only assume is the dragon, calling out, my plans will not be interfered with because you think there's some grand purpose to this world, and more screaming and roaring and stuff like that. And then you guys are in the forest.
Dragon is a nihilist. Good to know.
He's a selfish dude.
Sama has 0 chill, I think, at this point, and just Johnny, where the fuck are you?
Right. So yeah, he pops out from behind a tree. And he's he kind of has a strangely pleasant look on his face. He's like, the big dog showed me how to bandage my leg, and he's like got his, where he was cutting himself, so he's got that all wrapped up, and
That's surprisingly nice of him. Get your shit. We're leaving.
well, where are we going?
Not here.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, he gets his little bag and ready to go.
Cool. And so we have like 0 active transport at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not a whole lot of hit points, if I understand correctly.
Not a whole
And
lot of
also,
hit
yes.
points.
serious problems.
Also correct. Where do we go from here?
Bishonia, I believe, was the goal.
I know that you don't often get into fights, but we are down 2 good arms, and we don't have any more healing for them to stop bleeding everywhere. So we're not going to make it very far if we don't step and rest.
You hear a loud crash, and it's kind of like this creak, boom, and you can only imagine that it's one of the buildings back in the town, like being shoved over to the point that it falls.
How about we rest somewhere else that isn't right here?
Right. I'm just saying we have to do it soon, I think.
And yeah. Directionally, where are we again? Like southwest from.
Right. Yeah, let's grab the area map. I didn't do that right. I have to move the player's flag over. Thank you very much. So you guys were kind of just out, like, just beyond this orchard is where the forest was, where you were hiding him. So I guess we can switch to the larger area map if that makes more sense. Ding, 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 ding. Zoom in. Wait for the internet to catch up. Oh. Wow, I don't see this at all. You guys can see it better than I can. Come on, internet. There we go. Right. So, like, kind of where the L is in the word Laclede. I will be editing that to say former Laclede.
Wow, rude. So how far away is it?
I mean, like, for the moment, I mean, you're like, half an hour away. You just like are moving. You're heading that way.
No. How far is Laclede from Bishonia?
I think it was like 4 or 5 days.
4 days.
Okay. Do we know of any
on horse?
Right.
Yep.
I assume we would know of any spots in between. Like, is there a roadhouse? Is there anything like that? A crossroads?
Yeah. So that over here, like at the edge of the foothills of the mountains here, is the quarry, which has a village-ish qualities. There's a roadhouse, like you said. And then there's this forest road that kind of just leads along the edge of the mountains, kind of the backside of the world here. And there is this black dot, which we drew on here, where I'm pinging now, and that is the garrison. Yeah, that's where the garrison was forming to create the blockade between Bishonia and everywhere else. Well, and there was presumably one here and one here too, based on stuff you didn't know. Never mind.
So mountains seem like our safest bet if we're going to try and avoid the blockade.
Yeah, Gull would say the same thing. We should head to the quarry. There is respite
You're
there.
Rook.
I am Rook.
Yeah.
I say this.
Yeah, I'd probably say it as well.
Gull probably also says this. Thank you.
I gotta admit, I was wondering what that was all about.
It's been a day, okay?
Right.
Tuesdays. Okay.
I'm pretty sure Matt Mercer would say this. We go to the mountains.
Matt Mercer agrees. I've seen him on the internet before. He says we should head towards the mountains. I checked in with him earlier today. If we live,
if we find the Mind of Moria in the mountains,
and if I think probably the quarry.
They went too deep.
I think the quarry is the safest bet.
Can we just make jokes for the next hour?
Done. Solved.
Yeah.
perfect.
is that not what I was on? We are already doing.
But did we stop at any point?
Yeah, welcome to the stream, Daryl. Jeez.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know how to be anything other than myself.
Where's the corruption bar at, though? Is what I want to know.
It's there. Yeah. So I think the
I will cast gun at the audience.
The quarry is, I think, where Rook suggests we go.
All right. So
or a night probably at most, but we need someplace to not be dead for a minute.
Yeah. So yeah, the quarry is going to take you over a day to get there by foot. But it seems like a good destination, at least to get to head into the forest. Find a safe place to camp unless you're going to push through, which you can do. but you are hurting, and you guys are doing a good job.
No, I think it's
rectifying that.
It's a day to the quarry.
It's a day plus. It's a day plus.
Yeah, by foot, right? So like if it's 4 days, I mean, because when you guys went there with the horses, you guys went by there when you went and picked up the wagon originally, remember?
Right.
And you passed it at like the on the 3/4 part of the day.
Sure.
Yeah. So
I mean, I would say what throw caution to the wind. We're already fucking dead, no matter what. I would push through and get to this place. Meta sense, what we take a point of exhaustion, then we go to bed. Like we're going to this town to pass the hell out and heal. The faster we get there, and the faster we all pass out.
It might just be like staggering at 4 in the morning.
Yeah,
point,
for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. I say we press on. We move as quickly as possible. I'll carry the boy if I have to. And he reaches over and just like by the back of his shirt, just picks him up like luggage, and starts doing his best with like Goal on his back, like a little Yoda, and carrying the boy like a suitcase. Let's go.
Yeah.
And he starts running towards the north.
Yeah. I mean, and for a while that he keeps up, and he's in a strangely good mood. Like I said before, you start to wonder if maybe Fagin did something else to make him happy. But it does wear him out. Eventually he does wear out, and he's like starts to be complaining and annoying, and that's when you pick him up. In which case he's actually gets a little worse for a little while, but then he kind of passes out. So it's like, babies in a car. They go to sleep.
Perfect.
And you're just a big car with wings.
Clearly.
Clearly.
It's got the rocking motion and everything.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
It's a slight rumble.
Okay.
I've been rooked to sleep.
There's just snoring from my luggage and my backpack as I'm running with 2 tiny people.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right. Okay, so you get...
We definitely did not there, for sure.
You push through. As you're getting there, the weather is improving. It was kind of like rainy and dark through most of the day previously, but the clouds have cleared. You see the stars and the moon above. Mosquitoes are bad, but you guys don't care. And you eventually see the twinkling lantern lights of the gate house in front of the quarry. Last time you went by here, they did have a guard posted, so you're assuming that's still the case. You aren't close enough yet to be seen or see him or her.
And the guard were from Laclede, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know what happened since.
Well, what used to be Laclede.
Right. Also, we don't know what happened since. So at least Sama's gonna stealth up to.
They're freelance now, baby.
Try and see anyway.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. So stealth up. If you're stealthing, roll that.
21.
Ooh, that's a lovely roll. So yeah, you find your way using the available foliage and tree trunks and whatnot to get right up to within a clear visual of the gatehouse. And there is a female dwarf sitting in a folding chair, kind of leaning against it. You don't think she's asleep, but she's not terribly awake. She's just holding a spear. And then there's the 2 lanterns on either post next to the entrance.
Looks like anything, like no one else is nearby.
Yeah, nothing that you see movement wise. If you could kind of imagine it, I'll try to describe it, but there's like, just a square doorway kind of thing where they could close and open a gate, and then there's a little house next to it. And then it dives down a little bit into a big clearing that's almost like behind a hill. So like you can go by it without really seeing the quarry itself, but if you pass this gate, you'll see the big opening where they've been digging and back into the rocks, and then some of the buildings where the like dormitories are.
Sama takes, like, if she's got a spear, he's going to stay very much out of engagement range with her.
Yeah.
And is going to step out into the road in the lantern light if she notices him. And if she doesn't, it's gonna be like.
Okay. Yeah. So when you she opens her eyes and perks up. Hi there. What be your business tonight? It's late.
Sama points to his missing arm that is blood-soaked and like has half his clothing torn off.
Oh Lord. Oh gosh. Oh, what is what is this? Well, why are you out here? I'm not a doctor. We don't have doctors out here.
I'm aware. It's fine. I just need a place to be able to bandage up, rest up, and move on. I have some friends who are similarly worse for wear, and we'd appreciate a place to lie low for the night.
Well, we're not ones to deny fair travel and safe refuge if needed, but what, may I ask, caused such injuries?
Ever heard of a woman named Sulkery?
Aye. Yeah, she's the worst. Yeah.
That would be the one.
Oh dear. So is she coming this way? Do I need to bring the guard out?
You might not recognize her if she does.
I'm in no mood for riddles. You talk about the blood Thralls.
Sama like very slowly reaches for the gun and like just unhooks the clip that holds it in the holster, points at it, says, "I emptied that into her head, but you know, it might not take."
Well, that changes things. You bring your friends on in. We're going to make sure you're taken care of. And she goes into the little shed and pulls out another lantern that she like gestures to like hand it to you. And you go on down there, and the first building on the left, you'll see a man.
Is there somebody somebody in charge of the mine and inside your little encampment here?
Right. Yeah, we do. And I told you her name.
Did, and I've also forgotten it, which is why I am asking the character.
Oh, why don't I remember? Document time. Hold on a second. Anyway, she's the dwarf that you met back in Laclede, and she's moved up this way now. She's just staying here until they decide to move on to wherever, if they do.
I'm gonna go in the meantime. Go back and be like, all right, everybody, we can come on in.
Excellent. Okay, so he tells you that people.
Yeah, I assume we go in.
Wurtra, that's it. Yeah, Wurtra. Sorry.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, you make your way in
the
there.
chat, by the way. Just I want to acknowledge this pun. As you can see, we are unarmed.
Yep.
It's a very good pun.
Thank you. There's more chat in our chat too that I haven't been reading. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's not relevant.
Yeah.
What does this quarry town look like? Because we just passed by it before, right?
Right. So yeah, like I was trying to describe to Sama, like there's the entrance with the little gatehouse, and then there's some hills like that are right here. And if you are traveling, you just kind of go like by it, right? But if you go through the gatehouse, then you see behind that first hill, and it's just a big like hollowed out area that's with a big flat open area, and then along the sides there's a handful of buildings, and then along the other side are all the tunnels and things that go into the mountains for mining stones. There's not a lot of buildings. I mean, you could tell one of them is basically like a dormitory, just rooms and probably some sort of a food provider thing at the bottom, and then there's a little trading post.
Does this mine connect to Laclede?
No.
Okay, because I know there's a mine under Laclede.
Right, yeah. So the mine under Laclede was like rocks it was like metals and minerals, where this is just a quarry. It's
Gotcha. Yeah, I think Rook carrying 2 people and having the most arms looks to whoever's in charge and says, "Where can we go to sleep?"
We'll help you out. So Wootra comes forward. She's got the kind of dark braids that are turning gray, and she's we'll help you out. I've seen you. You were in Laclede. That place was doomed from the start. It's been bad over there. Is it? I guess you. Anybody left but you?
I don't think so.
4, 5.
Probably not.
There's a dragon.
Right. I'm gonna go talk to the guard and make sure we have a few extra people with their eyes open. But yeah, you're welcome here. And she points back to the behind her. There's
excuse me,
came out of.
Tiny Miss. What do you do if someone in the quarry gets injured? Who is your doctor? Anyone who is trained in stitching or a seamstress, I guess.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm the only one who can help with that kind of thing. We're a small group, but yeah, I can help with that. I've got a little bit of skill in the medicines.
Yeah, just if we could just sew up my friend's holes, that would be great, so it doesn't get all gross.
We'll do that. It does look a bit gross.
Thank you.
And maybe some string to put my boy's horn back on. He dangles the horn.
I didn't even notice it. I think it's probably fine.
No, trust me, Brooke. Trust me, you need this horn.
Chicks dig scars, Gull. It's okay.
You think I want to be walking around the wasteland with a one-horned dragon man?
You can hollow it out and use it to be louder. How cool would it be to drink out of my own horn? Pretty cool, I think.
I mean, that wouldn't gross you out if you saw me drinking out of your horn?
I said me, but you can have a sip too sometimes, I guess.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. All right, cool. And he's going to tuck the horn back in.
Luca, were you trying to say something? Okay, I swear you went like, ooh.
She did what I said, sew my friend's holes.
Yep, we both just had a, okay, and then moved on.
Listen, we can play phrasing, but it's Rook, so he doesn't get it either way.
I know.
Right. I know. You have 1 hole more than normal.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not gonna say what I want to fucking say. I'm leaving it alone. Something about blood and holes.
Yeah. I mean, there's a certain point where you're not saying something that you're saying, even though you're not saying it. So you come in to this little like office area. You can, I mean, it looks like an office. It's just got tables and chairs and paperwork and scrolls with like orders and like lists and all sorts of nonsense. There's a room full of shovels and picks, and if you're particularly observant, I'll give it to all of you, dynamite. And you kind of go back through past that a little bit, and there's a couple more rooms. You actually get the sense that maybe you're underground now, like this room. It's like bigger on the inside than it is on the outside because you're past what you could see outside. And there's a hallway with like 6 rooms, and you kind of get the impression that this is the equivalent of like officers' quarters versus regular workers. But the first room is got some equipment in it that's kind of like a little bit of a med station. There's not a lot in it, but there is bandages, and looks like there's fresh water and stuff like that. So Werther takes care of you. We're gonna give everybody 1 hit point back. I'll just start from the top down. So that's Rook's.
Nice.
I love you, buddy.
It's all right. We're gonna sleep anyway, so.
Yeah.
So what? Like, what does that do for you? Because
sleeping gives you full hit points back.
No, it doesn't.
Rules
you know that.
Rules is written. It does.
No, Luca, you get 3.
I mean, unless you're homebrewing that.
Yeah, no, we knew that at the start, I think.
Did we?
Yeah,
Fuck.
you did.
Yeah.
I didn't lose hit points before.
Signed on to that willingly.
We signed on to that at the very beginning.
But
Sama and Goal, you both get 6.
Yeah, we do.
A rolls to this shit anyway.
God bless Gull.
But yeah, no. There's no healing when you sleep. You heal with your hit dice. You gain hit dice back when you sleep. If you want to use them, go ahead.
Oh yeah, definitely for sure.
Can we use them before we sleep?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, so you've got 4.
Yeah. So I'm gonna fucking.
I don't know how many you've used.
You might not get it back up to start. Yeah, I haven't used it before either. So.
Yeah. So I don't know if you've used any. I hope you're keeping track.
I haven't used any. Yeah.
Yes.
Right, but when you sleep, you'll gain 1 back. So you can use a 5th one in the morning. But
is that what we're gaining back? Usually you gain half. So I'm at 30.
4, 2, 5. Yeah, that's close enough for now.
Hey,
nice. Hey, that's good
look at those
right
green
there.
numbers. Everybody likes green
That's
numbers.
Good.
We have a corruption bar, our movement.
Oof.
Thank you.
I thought it got hit, and I was like, I'm
it's
not ready
close
for it.
That's gun at audience.
The entire Lishone Mountains turn into stone golems.
Hey, I'm cool with mountain mechs. That sounds dope, actually.
Way better than the other stuff.
Like, at least if I'm gonna die in my anime weeb mecha nonsense. So that's fine. Hey, Goal.
Yeah.
You got a minute before you go to bed. I'm gonna need some help with something.
Sure. What you got?
Well, it's a lot harder to make bullets when I don't have sort of like something that wiggles his shoulder.
Oh, I got you. So you want me to make you an arm?
I was gonna say bullets, but an arm works too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you know what? Let's start off with the bullets.
Yeah, that sounds.
Yeah, once we get to Machonia and I can get some ingredients and maybe a work table and maybe a sandwich. I like to work with a sandwich.
Fair enough.
It's a thing. So yeah, no, we'll get you up and running in no time. So do you have components to make the bullets? I mean, I'm sure you got to be carrying those around, huh?
What?
Sorry.
Like I heard a bunch of words and none of them registered.
I bet you lost your arm, not your ears.
You all have a level of exhaustion before you go to sleep. It might be 2 at this point. It doesn't matter, but I think you, Jonathan, actually have one. Not your character.
No, me, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. So what was that again?
Components.
I was asking if you carried the components.
I did. Yeah, and also there's dynamite, which means I can mess around with some of that stuff and make the gun right.
Yeah. So I'll make you some bullets.
Am I around them right now? Are we in the same space?
You're all wherever you want to be. You've got free reign, other than Wertra's puttering around trying to take care of you. She's moving in and out of rooms.
I would say that if I'm in the same space, I would also chime in. If you're already making arms for Sama, I would also like to partake, if that's possible.
Oh, you want to help me make his arm? Okay.
No, not contribute, partake.
Oh my lord, you don't have an arm either. Holy crap. Yeah, I guess I'll make 2. You know, I'm Gold, the arm maker, the armorer, if you will.
Let's say a bit of an arms dealer there.
I don't want to be very forward, but could I have a horn? That would be kind of.
You know what? Yeah, I think it
really cool.
How is that forward?
I don't need one. I'm fine without it.
But that's not what forward. Unless you mean that, like, I don't know why you're saying forward.
No, I'll make you. I will get you a prosthetic horn piece that's gonna be sweet.
Does it do anything?
Made out of hot glue and glitter. Hope you enjoy it.
Does it do anything cool at all?
So Wertra comes up behind you, Goal, with just enough unexpectedness to startle you when she says this. So you make things? What can you make me? You could use a good engineer. Our last one, he's most of him's under that rock over. He's back away. She can't see him from here.
Yeah, I'll let the guys in Bashonia know that you're looking for somebody.
I was talking to you.
I kind of got a a full plate right now. I don't. Can I finish what I'm?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, okay.
No. I'll be back eventually, and maybe we can talk about it then. But I mean, what do you need?
Well, I mean, we use different types of lifters.
Oh, okay. You're looking for a resident engineer. No, that's not going to happen. I'm not even an engineer. I'm actually I'm a man of science. So I mean, I'm good with my hands, but if you want to get the rock off that guy, though, you probably just use another rock and then a stick. And then kind of
well, but I mean,
fulcrum lever system.
It's been a while.
Oh, he's one with the rock. All right.
Now we got two. Now we got two knives in there.
Okay, can't get the knife out with the knife.
I'll leave you to it. But I mean, if you need anything, just ask. I'll see what I got. Yeah. So she wanders off.
Just out of character, I completely plan on making Rook a gold horn piece.
It should have like a little chain that like dangles in front of him.
No, it's gonna be like instead of a gold tooth, he's gonna have just like the tip of his horn is gonna be gold.
Does it shoot
like
lasers?
caps right on the end of the broken bit right there.
Yeah, because his horn's like halved, so it's gonna be just gonna just look like a golden tooth, and I'm gonna carve an R in it.
I'm here for it.
Nice.
That's cool.
I'm going to once this conversation has happened with Goal about getting a replacement arm. I'm assuming that we're just staying here for the night. We're not going anywhere else. We're not doing anything else.
That's what Werter thinks.
Yeah, that's
Perfect.
what I mean.
Yeah.
Luca is going to kind of wander off on her own through the town to try and find. She's just going to try and find somewhere quiet.
Okay.
So just.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Do you want to discuss that, or you just satisfied with saying you found someone somewhere quiet?
I mean, we can discuss it. It depends on exactly what you want to discuss, or when you want to discuss that. I don't know if we want to finish what people are doing here.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we'll come back to it. I follow that. So, is anybody else doing anything? So we've got you guys talking about bullets and dynamite. Are you going to try to get some of that dynamite?
If I need to break into it to make more bullets, yes. If not, I'm just going to use what I've got from what's left over from the cannon.
Okay. Do you ask Wertra for it? I mean, so give me a little more.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, like if we need to do it, or he's like, can I crack into a stick and use it for replenish some of the ammunition I use for my weapons.
Well, it's a little unlikely, but unusual. But I don't see why not. I mean, you guys clearly have been through hell. So she goes and brings you 2 sticks.
Actually, could I get more of that?
I'm really SAR supply is sort of limited. I mean, I won't say no, but I'd rather not. I mean, 2 sticks. I mean, how much do you need?
Well, there was a dragon in what is probably now left of Laclede. So...
Are you planning to just take it with you, or you need it for making your bullets?
No, I'm planning for... One of them is going to go to the bullets. I don't think I need an entire stick of dynamite to make gunpowder for...
So you just want some dynamite, okay? Yeah. I'll get you a roll, and she goes and comes back with like a dozen.
Well, I appreciate you sparing what you've got.
All right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I was there when things were going down, and if you guys look like this, it went down hard. I should be expecting there to be some trouble coming our way soon.
I would be expecting to move if I were you. But
yeah,
I'll tell you what to
do. So you talked about the dragon. What was the point? Like, wait, what did he want? I mean, because he didn't seem to be with the Thralls.
We didn't really stick around to ask.
No, I think he just wants to ruin everybody's day as much as possible. So.
Yeah, he's an old one then. Because, I mean, you know, after a Thrall gets so old, he doesn't have much of a plan anymore other than just to feed. At least,
I'm sorry.
You know, that's what the parents say.
Yeah, back up. How do you know so much about that?
Well, I mean, it's just the way you know, when you grow up, there's this way you're taught. You know, your parents talk about life, and you know when.
Insight check.
All right.
It's okay.
Yeah, give it to me.
Someone's had enough people shit today.
I see that bar, y'all.
13, I think.
Fuck.
All right, so that's not giving you anything super noticeable, but I mean, you feel like she's not super comfortable talking about this, but there was something, you know, maybe in her past that she's trying to dance around. But you know, it's just the way life is, you know. I mean, there's Landslide and his crew, and they're all, you know, motivated or whatever, trying to keep the system alive. But then there's the ones before him. They're different. They don't subscribe to some sort of plan. They're just chaos. They're just blood.
I'm not gonna pry too much. Clearly, it sounds like you're dancing around something, and I'm not gonna pry too much. But do you have any kind of advice for us that you can give? We're trying to get to Lishone from here, and we're not. I'm thinking the forest route is the best way to get to, but trying to dodge the garrison blockades.
Look, we haven't been able to get a shipment to Bishonia or from Bishonia for 2 weeks. And this is you know, we're going on, well, I mean, with the news of Laclede, we're gonna, Tay Lamar is probably our only export option right now. Maybe Elding, right? So what's next for us? I feel like if you are trying to get to Bishonia, you've got a wall to break through.
Yeah.
But along the mountain edge here, you can probably get there. I mean, it's not a matter of getting there as much as it is getting there alive.
Yeah. Well, and Sama sort of reaches over with his good hand, like his one arm sort of waggles the dynamite, and now you know, sets it back down.
Yeah. All I know is if there's an old one, the old Thrall around these parts, I don't know, man. There's change coming. I mean, what was his? So you said you don't know what he was after?
Something about getting to Bishonia and spreading more fear. So, oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that tracks. He wants more to feed on, more people to scare. But yeah, I'd watch out. I'd be careful. That's all I got. We're going to have to be careful too. Maybe we'll just go back up and into the mountains. We'll just go back and join our people in the mountains. Let this quarry go.
Probably not the worst idea. But I'm not going to tell you to do it. Some will turn and start going back to like working on bullets with gold.
Yeah. Hey, Sama, before you go, I appreciate you. I know you fought. You fought for Laclede. Anyone who fights them, I appreciate. You keep going. You don't give up. I'll let you go.
Yeah.
And she kind of wanders back down the hall.
Yeah. And then Sama sort of bumps the door open with his elbow and go. I hope you didn't blow anything up. Door closes behind him.
All right.
How do I do this exactly? I don't remember how I'm gonna. How am I building bullets here? How are we handling that?
I thought it was one of your like I don't remember, but I thought you had one of your skills, one of your.
Oh yeah, no. So I have it as a background feature. I can just make I can make ammo. Are we cool with me just doing that?
Right. So you're wanting like a quantity.
Yeah. Like, do you want to quantify how much I can make from? Because it's like not like ideal for sure.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, so I've actually seen it done. Like you've got to have some molds. You got to melt some metal and you pour it into the molds and all that stuff. So
yeah,
I'm gonna say in a 6-hour period you can make a dozen.
All right.
So and you still need time to sleep. Let's does Rook want to do anything, or shall we do a Luca thing?
No, Rook's all set. He gets whatever food is available and he passes out.
All right. I'm gonna imagine that Johnny is like under your wing, like you're sleeping, and he's like up under there.
Absolutely not. He would have put him down on the ground. Like if he was carrying him like luggage, he would have laid him face down on the ground, eaten, and then left him there to wherever he was sleeping.
And then Luca would have covered him up.
He has no care for this child.
Sorry, my family. Luca.
Is there like a river or a lake or anything like that nearby this encampment?
No.
Damn it.
There's kind of a water supply definitely that like comes out of the mountains. It's a very, very small stream that it like goes directly into a bucket that they filter for drinking water and stuff like that. So it's not, if you're looking for tranquility, it would not fit that description in my opinion. But if you just go like just to the east side of the quarry, you could look out over the cliff into the Mirkwood Basin. Like they're right there.
All right, that works well enough.
I mean, it's like a several hundred feet down thing where it's super visually inspiring and cool.
Then Luca ends up wandering around until she makes her way over there, and she just kind of stands not on the edge of this cliffside, but like close enough to it, maybe 2 feet or so away, and just kind of stands there and is just kind of letting everything wash over her with what's happened. She's exhausted. She's gross. She's got blood caked on the side of her, aside from where she's been healed up. And she just lets the emotion happen and literally just screams as loud as she can into the ravine in frustration.
Yeah.
And then just openly weeps in her solitude. And allows herself to feel that for a good, she's not crying for a full 20 minutes, but I want to say the entire time of letting that release happen, calming herself down and regaining some sense of composure before she goes back to the main part of the encampment. That's what she ends up doing. And, she goes, as she's walking back to the encampment, she goes to where that trickle of water is, and she throws, handfuls of water onto her face, onto her hair, and onto her clothing a little bit, so that it looks like the water that might have been on her face from crying is actually just from her like splashing water on herself to clean up.
Okay, sure. Yeah, no, I think that's super cool. Like and is this your monk meditation? Does it kind of feel that need?
It sort of feels that need, because I want to say that she would go there first with the intention to try and meditate, but she's so frustrated and angry because now she has to deal with the fact that one of what is essentially her weapons is gone, and she was not trained with what to do when that happens. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I can see like that sort of almost traditional or stereotypical anime thing where your arms are straight back and your head thrust forward as you scream into the void.
I just want to add salt to the wound, but it'd be her arm is straight back.
Can you just let me have my somber ass moment, you absolute monster?
So it's like one arm is.
No, I mean, in her mind, it's two.
Yeah,
like she's still.
But in everyone else's mind, it's just the one. I just want to.
Right.
Yes,
right.
You hammered that home. Go absolutely fuck yourself.
Right. Yeah. And as you're screaming into the void, you see it fall. It's just a mental picture. No, I'm sorry. That's even worse, right?
I hate you all.
Right. All right. So you get back to
moment.
No, that was beautiful. I really did. I'm glad you did that. So you get back, you splash the water on yourself. If you can kind of imagine, there's basically like a wall of tunnels or voids where they're mining rock. And then there's a wall where there's little buildings, and that's one of the buildings you guys have gone into. And then in between the two is where that big bucket is that's filtering the water. And you can just reach in and so you got that for you. So is anybody else got anything else before they take a rest? Because you guys have already rolled all these hit dice, and if I were to do any of that corruption bar stuff, you'd have to undo all that. So I need to know that you guys take a rest.
Yep, we sleep. Well, sleep.
Yeah, I'm out.
You meditate. So you get there at like stupid in the morning, right? All this takes place. You have a couple, or at least an hour. Maybe you could rush all this, but I'm going to say it's an hour. Sama's case, he's making bullets. And he doesn't. I mean, you could sleep while they're cooling and all that. So,
yeah,
but
Sama doesn't also requires less sleep than most. So it's
right. So you can still rest. You don't have to wait the 6 hours, but it's so. I'm gonna say you wake to screaming. You wake to screaming. You hear the somewhat deep sound of like the dwarven voice screaming in agony, and you wake. When you start to wake up, there's just enough light cascading down the hallways that you can tell that it is daytime. And that's all you know from your rooms. Each of you has your own room. You're all side by side, though. Like I said, you're kind of down in this sort of captain's quarters, like whatever the officials' quarters. What do you do? It's just a scream. It's not like, and it's ongoing. It's still like it's repeating.
What is it, like an agony scream?
Yeah.
Not like an alert, we're under attack scream?
It's just screaming. It's just screaming. I don't know how to describe it. It's what you would do if you were being stabbed, or if you were falling off a cliff, or if you just stepped on a spider that you didn't know was there. You know, it's a scream.
Okay. Yeah, I think Rook runs out of the room, almost stepping on the kid, unless someone picked him off the floor.
All right, I forgot about the kid. I mean, I didn't forget when I mentioned it, but I should have done some sort of RP with him.
I keep trying to forget about him, but you guys keep making me bring him along.
Right.
Yeah, so Rook barrels out of the room towards the screams.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, you barrel out of the room. You find yourself coming down the hall, and you pass that sort of office, or you pass the med station first, and you pass the office. And when you run through the office, you actually see that there's someone in the bed that wasn't there when you guys went to sleep, and it's a young man who's not a dwarf in this case, but clearly by his dress, he's one of the workers here, and he looks dead, but not necessarily dead in the I got myself beat up and cut bad type of dead, but just like he has. His life has been sucked out of him, and he's just laying there dead. He's got no skin color. He's his sunken cheeks and everything like that. But you run past. As you run past, you see several people in the quarry, in the open space of this sort of quarry. For you, what's the word I'm looking for? It's the space anyway, and you see some of the workers kind of running back and forth, and a handful of the unmade, your favorite guys, are running into the space. Some of them have already. One of them has a dwarf already in his grips, and it's just like shredding him, just and like starting to chew on its arm, and you see the arm of the unmade that's chewing on the arm of this dwarf start to like sort of shift and change until it gets thicker and stronger like the dwarf that it's eating. Okay. And then you see this other one that looks a lot like the unmade, but it's standing up on its hind legs behind them, and you get a sense that it has some sort of control or at least authority over them. Your move.
How many are there in total?
4 plus 1.
And the one looks like it's controlling?
Right, yeah. There's some sort of a boss version.
The unmade, are they basically mindless thralls? I don't remember.
Right, so in the last encounter, Sama shot the stone that was being used to control them. So in this case, you're not sure what is.
But like in general, like they're not like a very smart bunch of creatures, right?
Right.
Yeah,
they're instinct only. They're just anger. Yeah, they're just anger, and we absorb the meat and other parts of other creatures so that we can be more angry.
This fucker's wearing my arm.
It's made
I wanted that to happen so bad last session. Like I had it planned that somebody was going to lose a limb and you were going to have to fight your own limb. And then you shot the stupid stone like immediately.
Love that.
Step 1, do not fuck with magic. Step 2, fuck up magic.
Yeah, I think, man, dwarves aren't that heavy, right? I think
they're dense.
Yeah, they sink.
We're not talking about daubers.
They sink, that's for sure. I think Rook is like, I don't know, not like taking his time, but he's doing stuff. Mechanically, I'm doing bonus actions, but I also want to start grabbing dwarfs and like throwing them behind, like back towards the door I just ran through. Like just grabbing them and just chucking them, like toddlers, back towards the inside. But like, so my first action is I'm going to use my blood maledict. So I'm going to like I grab my scythe out, and then the lightning starts to like crash down it, and I grab a dwarf and throw them.
Right.
As I'm kind of waiting for everyone.
We need a blood thrall potion belaying thing.
Do we? I thought I took one last time.
Okay, but you don't have to do that like every day.
Yeah. What's the roll for it?
You're going to roll 1d8 at this point because it keeps getting bigger.
Okay. /R 1d8. Now, does that take into account the fact that Rook makes me stuff? I mean, Goal makes me stuff.
Right. So that's what Goal made you.
Okay.
All right. And this is what your blood thrall anger is. Oh, we were 1 short. Okay. So there you go. So you are already at a 1 point deficit as far as your anger goes. So like if you cause fear or whatever, then you are going to feed on it. That's basically. It's just like it's like a yes or no question. I think is the way we're going to treat it. So
gotcha. Okay.
Do you feed or do you manage to just behave like a normal person?
Normal for a Rook.
Normal.
Right.
Rook,
Yeah. All right.
Scary
so you're
scary and creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as far as population goes, like a 60% dwarves, especially all of the what appears to be leadership. But then there's the other races.
Yeah, he's indiscriminately throwing people. Like if they run towards him, he's giving them that extra 10 feet of boost as he chucks them into the building.
Yeah. So they're coming. You see, there's literally like a stream of them coming out of one of the mine tunnels, and which leads you to believe there must be something in there too that's already starting to screw things up. Mm-hmm. And you start to crackle. You're ready to fight. Is anybody else reacting in the same time span?
If Rook ran out, Sama's gonna grab like guns and walk out and follow. And then if he sees the thing that it looks like it has some authority to it, is going to try and get a better, closer look at it from where he's at. and look at it closer.
Okay. Yeah, so as you take a look at it, give me a perception roll.
23.
Oh my goodness. Yes. So you can tell that there is this version of an unmade that appears to be a little more intelligent. He's, like I said, standing up on 2 legs as opposed to crawling around on the 6 or 5 or 3 or whatever they have, depending on their structure. And he has a bit of a smoke about him. So like you can tell there's a little bit of energy, or like the air around him is a little bit disturbed.
It's like a heat mirage kind of haze thing.
Yeah. That's a good way to describe it.
Okay.
But he's just out of range of anyone who might be running by or whatever. Just kind of behind, watching what's going on for now.
Yeah, if Rook hasn't noticed already, Rook, Sam's like, go for the big one.
I'm on it.
And Sama's going to find a place to set up where he can cover Rook and put the rifle on something so he can just maneuver it with one arm.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, in front of the rooms that you were in, there's a little bit of it's kind of a patio area.
Yeah.
So a chair or a bench or even a little, thing, like a little stand that's represents the front of the building, like not a fence exactly, but I don't know. I'm like babbling because it doesn't matter.
Something, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're good. You got that. So you're set. Luca and Goal, are you guys just sleeping? It's fine if that's what you want to do.
Gold's gonna, obviously he's probably gonna hear the screams and hear funk of Rook feet running down the hall.
Yeah.
So he's gonna open the door and kind of check stuff out and see what's going on. He looks down the hallway and all he sees is bodies getting flung through the air by Rook. He's like, oh no. And he's gonna make his way out there, but he's not gonna engage.
Okay. So would it be fair to say you do something like when you get out in front of this, you just find that sign that Sama is leaning on the pole for, and you use it just to like push this yourself behind it, something like that?
Like I'm essentially just gonna be kind of standing next to Sama going, what's going on?
Dead corpses, people screaming, same shit, different day.
Yeah, he's completely unfazed by it at this point. Just like, oh, hey, cool, another one of these.
Oh, great, one of these again.
Yeah, I feel like our life is just being corrupted.
What do you got, Luca?
Luca is going to follow essentially the same premise as Goal, where she's going to get up because she hears the noises and slowly make her way out of the room and down to where everyone else is. And she's kind of still hazy from being woken up suddenly in this situation, but after kind of adjusting to what she's seeing, doesn't ask Goal or Samo what's going on, but does ask, where's the boy?
And Sama just kind of like, I assume Rook is, you just see a dwarf kind of thump back on the ground from behind Rook, as Sama just kind of like
skids in.
Just kind of like tilts his head towards Rook, who is running directly at the angry screaming.
Okay. So, to me, this feels like a really natural initiative. I don't feel like it makes sense to roll initiative, so we're going to go with Rook, Sama, Goal, Luca. However, Rook or whoever can still respond to Luca.
Oh, Rook's running in. I don't think he heard Luca. If they're back at the door, yeah, he's just charging in and throwing people.
Okay. All right. So you run out there. Like I said, there's 4 of the unmade. They are all engaged with other people, part of this quarry. But you can get to one of 2 of them. Obviously, you can't get to both, but they're fairly evenly spread out.
Can I get to the control-y guy?
No. He's 1 extra turn away. And that was going to be my next statement. Thank you.
Oh, great. Then I use my bonus action to mark him, and then I dash and get to him this turn.
Okay.
And that's my full
So you
action.
get to him. Okay, so you don't get to attack. Okay.
Yep. I'm gonna use a bonus action to mark him, and then I'm going to use my full action to dash.
As you're running towards him, you just sort of see him hunch over and like you almost and the bones that are inside the grotesque structure of flesh that's sort of loosely woven together like pop out like spikes.
Gross.
It'll get grosser. Sama?
If I have a sight line to the Rook is fighting one of the smaller ones, right? Or is he fighting?
I'm fighting the big one.
He went for the big one. He dashed.
Okay, cool. And if someone get a shot, he's going to do the same thing.
I mean, the smaller ones are eating people currently.
Yeah.
Right, they've all got people. They're engaged.
Like they're going at it. I'm gonna take the big one that is clearly, a thing. So shoot gun. Ooh. Nope, not even remotely.
It's one of those new bullets. It's like slightly. It's not.
Yeah, it slightly dings off.
Yeah.
It's almost fucking. God damn it.
It wasn't a perfect sphere, so like the.
Yeah. Sort of like and then like tucks the stock as I like flips it over, starts to reload it.
Yeah.
You're a little one side heavy, so you got to kind of counterbalance yourself
a little bit.
Yeah. As the bullet flies by his head, and his spikes were like opening up, or his ribs were opening up as if they were spikes. More of that sensation of the air rippling around him increases, and you smell a stench, Rook.
Mm-hmm.
I think your next goal.
Nonchalantly, Goal's gonna sit there, watch all this kind of stuff going down, and he's gonna send a flaming arrow downrange. You said the one that Rook's fighting had, the thing opened, kind of.
Right, like his ribs are opening up, his scapular like spinning around. I mean, like his entire bone structure is coming undone, which makes it look like he's probably not able to fight. But whatever. I mean, he's a monster. He's creepy.
Goal's not about that. He sees that and goes, yeah, no, and he's gonna shoot one of these things at it.
7.
He's still kind of groggy. He just woke up.
He did just wake up. I mean, it's like 8 in the morning, but still, you got here at 4 or something. So
yeah.
So that flaming arrow flies by. He doesn't even seem to notice.
You're doing great,
Luca.
Thanks.
I'm only here for intimidation.
Two range fighters look at each other, just start reloading. Like,
I know, right?
yes.
Luca, you're our best. Please make this not the end.
You are. Oh, I don't even fucking know. All right, rope dart time. Let's see if Luca can make this shit work with only one arm.
All right, so you can get to one of the 4 unmade that are within 1 turn of the entrance to the room you're in, or the building you're in, or you can dash to the other one and not take an attack.
Doesn't make sense to attack the little ones. So I guess I'm going to dash towards the one and not make an attack.
Okay.
Hope you can enjoy the sweet taste of victory with one friggin' eye.
With one friggin' eye.
All right. Yay. It's my turn. So Rook and Luca get all the way up to the unmade devourer, and as it continues to open up and you see this misty nonsense start to spread out from it, you realize that you're within range of it, and you need to make a Constitution saving throw versus a 15.
22.
13.
All right, Loki, you take 2 levels of exhaustion. And
I don't even know where to mark that.
right, so 2 levels. So the second level is bad. We probably should read it to make sure we're doing it right, but it's gonna give you disadvantage, I think, on everything, something like that.
Is that right? It's something like that. I think 3.
Yeah.
Third level is the worst one. Exhaustion. Yeah. So exhaustion level 1 is you have disadvantage on ability checks, and exhaustion level 2 is your speed is halved. So you have disadvantage on skills, and you have and your speed is halved. 3 is the bad one. 3 is disadvantage on everything.
Okay. All right. So you feel this energy wash over you that is draining, and it's like you were just trying to wake up, and then you suddenly feel this uncontrollable urge to go back to sleep. But you realize it's just a physical effect. You're going to push through it. You also take 12 damage.
Hey!
Jesus.
And Rook, you take 6 because you take half of it. You don't get the exhaustion.
Jesus.
Awesome.
Jesus.
And it's necrotic, if that matters.
I don't think it does. Oh wait, So I do have a question. Oh no, never mind. It wouldn't matter. Necrotic isn't a thing. Okay, cool.
Right, like if I were to rewrite all this whenever that comes, which it will, I will probably get rid of the magic terms like necrotic and all that, and reuse them into the thrall circles. But anyway, yeah. So that's all that happens. So I mean, the other 4 unmade take their turn. They eat more dwarves and elves and humans, and you see them like starting to gain physical attributes based on what they're chewing on, and it's just disgusting enough that if you guys weren't heroes, you would be puking.
Cool. That's nasty.
That's nasty. All right. So what do you got? What do you got? Who's next? Rook. Do it.
Rook roars in this guy's face, and then like drags his own scythe like over his bicep. And I yep, and I take 2 more points of damage. I am amplifying my blood curse on this guy, so now blood is like on the blade as lightning sort of cascades down this thing, giving me advantage on my attack. And right. I'm going to attack the fuck out of this guy using great weapon, whatever the hell.
And I'm going to need an intimidation roll too.
Shit. So a 9 misses. I
don't agree with that roll.
Okay.
I need an intimidation roll first. You violated my directions as the GM.
You need an intimidation roll for. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A nat 20.
Nat 20. All right. So, not only are the unmade around you and this thing that you are confronting or reconciling with your physical presence, but unfortunately the people you're trying to defend are freaking out now. So that's going to give you some magic blood thrall points. So whatever damage you do when you attack, which was not what you did already, because you're going to roll that now, you're going to get an extra d6.
Okay, cool. So 10.
Okay. That's amazing. That's really amazing. It's an attack roll. Like as a DM, what are the different ways that I can fudge rolls? That's an attack roll. You can't it's a 10.
Yep, it's a 10.
I mean, you could just make its AC 0 and then we'd hit it.
Yeah, I could.
Yep.
I could do that.
Oh, God.
Well, based on all you guys out there in Viewerland and YouTube, please don't take this against me. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say it hit. I'm going to say because he's distracted, exuding his
Grossness?
his necrotic energy that he is not in any way attempting to avoid this attack. And it's also 9, so I want to have this.
I'm gonna take that. So he takes this.
Yes.
He takes this number of damage, and then he takes an additional this number of damage, and then he takes an additional this number of damage. So that's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 23 points of damage.
You roll like crap.
Yep.
Okay.
That's why I don't play D&D.
Yeah. His structure is completely exposed, and he is just a pile of bones, basically, that are suspended in air by this necrotic energy that's flowing around him. And when you strike him, he shatters. His body just falls apart. However, he also bursts into another necrotic wave that spreads out through the entire courtyard area of the quarry, and everyone makes another Constitution saving throw.
12.
12.
We all die.
8.
Yup.
All right, come on, Goal. Let's see what you got. Woo! All right.
Fucking nailed it. All right.
So
the necrotic gas is just too high. It's just above him.
It goes over his head.
That's what they say. You gotta crawl through a smoky room.
That's it.
Oh,
yeah. So Rook, you take 3 levels of exhaustion. Sama, you take 3 levels of exhaustion. The Glamour Luca, you take 7 if that's possible.
Don't you just die at that point?
I think you do.
At what? 7 levels of exhaustion?
7 exhaustion?
Yeah, 6 exhaustion is you die.
Just die.
It's just straight up death.
All right, well, we'll change it so that you get a death saving roll. And Goal, you're fine, but you will still take half of what I'm about to roll.
Do we all take 7? How many? Wait, what? How many exhaustion do we take?
No.
No, if you saved
Rook?
it's 3.
Rook and Sama take 3.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Oh no, you would be at 5, Luca, right?
No.
No, because she failed it, so she gets the double.
We all failed.
Right, so...
oh yeah, no, didn't we all
No, but
fail?
I already had 2
you all
from
failed.
before.
So if we failed it, we got 3.
Yeah.
So 3 plus 2 is 5.
No, you fail for each point below Yeah. So below 15. So you get 3, you get 3. Sama gets, Luca gets 7. But
that's a
you 3 take 9, and Rook, Gull, you still take.
That's a doozy.
Gotcha.
4. 4 rounded up, I guess it's 5. You take 5.
No, 4. You said 4 first.
Fine, I don't care. Right. So the necrotic energy fills you. I mean, you feel your life force just being drained. It's as if your fingernails and your toenails are just bleeding off of the end of your limbs with your very essence until you collapse. Look,
Jesus.
And that's where we're going to end it tonight.
Awesome.
Fucking yikes.
Another episode ending with me dying. That's great.
Yeah, well, it was supposed to happen twice in a row.
Oh,
should have just stayed in my room. Just stayed in my room.
Just
next time that we have something where we've been woken up from sleep and it's like, oh, you hear screaming, I'm gonna be like, fuck the screams, I hope they die.
Just babysit. You like next time you're like, I gotta look after the kid.
Honestly, you should have heard, you hear screaming, cool, we leave.
Yeah.
I jump out a window and run in the opposite direction of wherever the scream is coming from.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even wait for my party. I leave.
Yep.
I would like to take this moment to thank God and chat for that particular
I would not
corruption bar event.
Go.
That's what that was.
Oh my God.
I don't. Chat, you're the worst. Thank you for participating.
No, they love it. They love it.
Okay, so that was that, guys. Let's go around, do our introductions. We can start our after show. We can decompress from all the murder we just got committed against ourselves. So we'll start with Cora. Who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to?
I'm Glamour Bomb Live at Twitter.
No.
Sorry.
One more time.
Nope.
Try again.
With feeling.
I'm at
With feeling.
GlamourBomb Live on Twitter. You can go there if you're interested in hearing any of my music. Sorry,
Wow.
random stroke. Sorry, I had a random stroke just there.
Wow.
I apologize. You can go there if you're interested in finding any of my random musings in regards to like stuff in the TTRPG world and stuff in the world in general, especially with everything that's going on, gestures at everything. Yeah, that's all I got.
Did you just gesture to all of me?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not the world though. That I don't mean to assume that. But yes, amen.
Let's go to John. Who are you? Where can find you on the internet? What are you up to?
Hi. So I'm John. You can find me at Ryamos on Twitter, RY0MASA. I do this show. I'm also on New Acadian Nights at Scradix Academy at 9:30 p.m. EST, which is Urban Shadows playthrough. I'm also on a Good Society happy hour game over at Man of Hot Studios. We're doing our last 2 episodes this week, 8 o'clock p.m. EST on Friday and Saturday, because we missed a session last game, so we're wrapping it up this weekend. You can also find me from 4 to 7 p.m. EST on the Thick Notes Twitch, where a friend of mine and I do a shanty shop where we rewrite folk songs and sea shanties into fantasy gaming, D&D themed ones. You can put them in your game and not have references to things like England for no apparent reason.
Right. I remember you talking about that before. That is super cool.
Yeah, and we're doing a fundraiser for the Bale Project throughout the rest of this month. So if you come by and donate $10, you get entered in the chance to get your own shanty. So
yeah. That's dope as hell.
Shanties are cool.
Come support a cool thing. Come get some music. Come listen to us be giant music nerds for 3 hours.
Love it. Let's jump to Kendall. Who are you? Where can find you on the internet? And what are you up to?
Hey, my name's Kendall. You can find me on Twitter at KWFrags. And, I'm thinking about doing an OnlyFans. So if that's what you're about, give me at least like 50 more followers on Twitter, and I'll show you my stuff. My stuff is... That's me.
I hate you so much. Last but not least, Daryl, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to?
Just what Kendall said. Go on.
Perfect. What Kendall said, same.
No.
So if you guys want to see Daryl's OnlyFans, you can give him some more follows on Twitter.
Yeah. No. I'm sorry. I actually have work to do. So I am a D&D writer, artist, and creator. I am working primarily for 2 publishers at the moment. Everyone here knows Nerdarchy. But I am also now working for DM Dave, and he's a pretty cool guy, very, very prolific writer if you check out his Patreon. But my job at the moment is to tell people about the Kickstarter. I'm the graphic designer for it and kind of the marketing guru. So go check that out. I just put the link into chat. It is a starter set that is not from WotC. So if you want to play D&D, but want something different than Lost Mines of Pavander, then check that out. It's super cool. It comes with 120 minis. You're not going to get that from Pavander or
Phandelver.
That's the word. There we go.
That's the module.
Phandelver. Phandelver.
The Lost Mines of Philander.
Heck? Yes. So anyway, so go check that out and follow that. We'll be launching next Tuesday. Otherwise, I'm Splattered Ink. That's what I do. I'm here to make D&D content and have fun. Thank you everybody for showing up. Thanks for the Corruption Bar, and thanks for this cast. You guys really, really brought it home today. I appreciated every moment of kind of introspective character moments, given the gravity of what was going on. So,
given the fact that we were getting wrecked. If you guys like that Kickstarter, you should tweet at, I think it's at DM Dave, and tell him that you want to see that game on unMadeGaming. That being said,
I want to run that here, or find someone to run it here. So that's kind of on the table, but I don't know how legitimately. But yeah. Tell them about Unmade. Tell them you want to see it.
Yeah. Do all that stuff. That being said, we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna go film our after show. If you guys want to see the after show, that's gonna be available tonight-ish. If not tomorrow morning on our Patreon. Link for that down below. If you guys want to support the channel, that's the best way to do it. Second best way is here on Twitch by subscribing here. And you should join us for the conversation over in our Discord. Link for that down below as well. And from all of us to you guys, we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.